My name's Charlie Ward and I am a senior practitioner in the fostering team. Remand Fostering is a specialist part of fostering. Young people will sometimes be remanded to foster care as an alternative to them having to go to secure accommodation. They've been remanded because the courts have refused for that young person to be bailed. It may not be safe for them to return home to their family, or there might be very specific reasons why they can't return, and so it's deemed that a remand foster placement is the most safe option for that young person. It's a temporary, secure option for them whilst they're awaiting the next part of their legal proceedings. So a typical remand placement can last from a few days up to a few months. It's just dependent upon the court proceedings, but it is a relatively very short-term placement. Remand fostering is vital as it provides an alternative for young people. We know that secure accommodation can be detrimental to young people's development, their mental health and their emotional well-being, and it allows them to be in a supported, safe environment whilst they're going through a really difficult stage in their lives. Children and young people on remand will often be very emotionally dysregulated. So they might be very anxious, feel really, very angry at the situation. It may be that they are risk-taking sort of behaviours like substance misuse, absconding, and it might be that they have mental health needs that are unmet, and that they, potentially experience very sort of complex trauma in their early life. The skills and qualities that we're looking for from remand foster carers include people who are really enthusiastic, want to make a big difference to young people's lives, recognise that young people may have been drawn into criminality because it's, for various different reasons, because of their circumstances, and they really want to help that young person make a change and bring about a positive outcome. We're looking for people who are resilient and flexible, can adapt to different situations, that are really good at managing conflict, and people who would back that young person so that they've got stickability and remain really committed to the young person. Remand foster carers would manage by providing really consistent routines, but being very clear around boundaries, remaining really calm, lots of patience, and working with the wider team around that young person. So they're with the youth offending team, with the social care teams, to make sure that the young person's needs are fully understood and are met. Knowledge of the justice system is hugely beneficial, and experience of working with young people, because it is such a specialist part of fostering. So the placement process works. The fostering service would be given information about the young person, what their needs are, where they're at in their legal journey, and we would look to match with an appropriate foster carer. So we would look at, can that foster carer meet that young person's needs, and also ensure that we understand if there are any risks. In preparing for a remand placement, sometimes there's not much notice because the court will direct that the young person is remanded into a foster placement. As a fostering service, we'd make sure that we have as much information about that young person as possible, so what their needs are, if there's any risky behaviours that we need to be aware of, and that we would coordinate the team around that young person in preparing for the placement. So it'd be working with the youth offending team, legal representatives, and just ensuring that we can pass on and share as much information with the remand foster carer as possible. I think remand fostering it's hugely rewarding. You could really make a difference to a young person's life. It's really important for these young people to be given a chance.